The Nintendo Switch eShop has video games for your Nintendo Switch on sale right now. Yes, right now! And you know what? We're gonna talk about them. I know, pretty shocking stuff. What's going on, guys? I'm RGT85. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But without any further ado, let's talk about the big Nintendo Switch eShop sale that's going on right now and what games you should have on your radar. Now, before we get into this, I do want to preface this off that there are a ton of games on sale for the Nintendo Switch right now from various companies like Activision and Capcom, and we're not going to cover every single game that's on sale. I just wanted to highlight some games that I recommend that are at the price point that they are at. Now, all of the titles are on sale at the time of the filming of this video, which is July 18th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So if these games are not on sale anymore by the time you're watching this video, you should have been subscribed to the channel and you should have notifications turned on. But without any further ado, let's start talking about some games. The first game we're going to talk about is a game that released less than a month ago for the Nintendo Switch, and that is Burnout Paradise Remastered. Yes, Burnout Paradise Remastered is already on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop for just $39.99, which is $10 off of the $49.99 that it launched at. Now, it seems like Burnout Paradise Remastered is actually a really good version of Burnout Paradise. I enjoy the Burnout franchise. Burnout 3 was definitely my favorite game in the franchise, but of course one of the drawbacks of the Nintendo Switch version of the game was that $50 price point, especially considering the fact that when Burnout Paradise Remastered came out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, the game was available for just $39.99, which of course is the price that it's at now. So I definitely think it's a much better deal at the $39.99 price point than it would be at $49.99. Now, since this is an EA game, the price will probably continue to go down over the next few months, but if you're looking for some fast-paced car crash action on your Nintendo Switch, Burnout Paradise Remastered is a really great version of the game. It runs at 60 frames per second in docked and in handheld mode, so I definitely recommend checking this game out. The next game is a game that I felt was a bit overpriced when it originally launched on the Nintendo Switch, but now it's on sale, and that is The World Ends With You Final Remix, which is on sale for just $24.99. Now, this game originally released on the Nintendo DS. That's actually where I played the game, and I really enjoyed what I played. It's sort of a modern sort of RPG game that takes place in urban Tokyo, and you have to do all this stuff like control time when you're in the combat system. It's definitely a very unique game, but it's a very popular game that definitely has a cult following. There's actually an anime coming out for this game as well, so it seems like it's very popular. Now, the Nintendo Switch version did have some sort of weird controls when it came to it that a lot of people seem to complain about, but I think at just $24.99, it's probably a bit easier to adjust those controls than it would have been when it originally released for the Nintendo Switch at the $50 price point. So if you're looking for a pretty interesting RPG that has a cult following that you might end up joining the cult with, The World Ends With You Final Remix is available for just $24.99. Next up, one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch is once again on sale. I think this is actually the cheapest it has been, though, and that is the Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection, available for just $19.99. Now, the Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection is, of course, a compilation of two Assassin's Creed games. You have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Rogue, and I've never played Assassin's Creed Rogue. I still haven't played Assassin's Creed Rogue. I'm sure it's a fine game, but really, the game that drew me into this compilation was Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which is essentially Assassin's Creed mixed with pirates, and it just plays so well. The story is so interesting. You're able to upgrade your ship and do ship battles and stuff like that. Like, really, it's one of the best games that I have ever played. It is definitely by far my favorite in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and the fact that you get another game alongside of this for just $20 on the Nintendo Switch is a great value. The game looks great and runs great on the Switch as well, whether you're playing in docked or handheld mode, so I highly recommend this game. If you've never played Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, or even if you have and you just want to visit the game again, this is definitely a great deal. The next game is a 3D platformer that you get 3 games for the price of 1 in, and that is the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, available for just $19.99. Now, of course, this originally released on the Xbox One and the PS4 and came to the Nintendo Switch last year, but really, I think this is a great compilation of games. Spyro 3 is kind of wonky, but I think Spyro 1 and Spyro 2 are a lot of fun. The graphics look very nice on the Nintendo Switch version of the game, everything controls well as well, and like I said, you're getting 3 games for the price of 1 in this compilation for just $19.99. If you're a fan of 3D platformers and mascot characters, I think you'll have a really good time with the Spyro Reignited Trilogy at just $19.99. The next game is one of the most criminally underrated games on the Nintendo Switch, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, available for just $14.99. Now obviously Devil May Cry is a very popular franchise, so how could a game in the series be sort of underrated? Well, Devil May Cry 3 is considered by many to be one of the pinnacles of the series, and the fact that the Special Edition version on the Nintendo Switch packs features that are not available in any other version of the game, such as the ability to change weapons on the fly, really adds to this version of the game. It looks great, it runs great, it plays great, and those new added features really breathe new life into this game and make it really the definitive version of Devil May Cry 3. I absolutely had a blast playing this game. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and like I said, you could pick up this game for your Nintendo Switch for just $14.99, and I highly recommend it. FIFA 20 Legacy Edition may have been a complete ripoff at $50 when it came out, considering, well, it was just FIFA 19 with updated rosters, but now FIFA 20 Legacy Edition is actually on sale for the Nintendo Switch for just $15, and you know what? At $15, I think that's easily digestible. Whether you're just a fan of the roster updates over FIFA 19, or you're looking for a soccer or football game on your Nintendo Switch, you can't go wrong with this at $15. I actually went ahead and picked it up myself because I am a fan of playing soccer or football games on the go, and I think this is a really solid game. You know, it's not a great game or anything like that. I feel like the $50 price point is definitely sort of gouging Nintendo Switch customers, but at the $15 price point, it's definitely very easily digestible. So FIFA 20 Legacy Edition, if you've been on the fence about it, this is the cheapest that it's been at just $14.99. Another game coming in at $14.99 is Deadly Premonition Origins. Now, Deadly Premonition 2, we reviewed it on the channel last week, and well, it was definitely a bit of a disappointment for me personally, but I still feel that the original Deadly Premonition is a fantastic game with a great balance of open world aspect, a very funny storyline, and of course, some interesting survival horror style gameplay. Deadly Premonition Origins is going to give you a lot of bang for your buck. It's definitely a very quirky game. Don't go into it expecting some sort of big AAA title, but if you're a fan of sort of B-movie style horror movies, I think you'll really enjoy this game. The writing, like I said, is absolutely off the wall zany. The combat is very fun, and the setting that you're in Glenvale, Washington is actually very interesting, and it opens up a lot of doors for very interesting characters. Deadly Premonition Origins is on sale for $14.99, and I really love this game. If you're looking for a really good compilation of retro beat-em-ups, the Capcom Beat-em-up collection is available for just $9.99. You're getting a bunch of different versions of Capcom arcade beat-em-ups from that time era, including some games that had never released officially on home consoles before. Just a really solid collection of games. If you're a fan of beat-em-up games, this should probably already be in your collection, but if for some reason it is not, the fact that it's available for just $9.99 is definitely the time to pull the trigger on this compilation, because it's fun and it's a Capcom beat-em-up collection. I mean, why wouldn't you want to have that? If you're a fan of shoot 'em up games, Raiden 5 should already be in your Nintendo Switch collection, because I reviewed this game when it first came out and I absolutely loved it. But if for some reason you haven't picked up this title yet, Raiden 5 is available on sale for just $8.99. It's a really fun, sort of standard shoot 'em up game. It doesn't really do a whole lot to sort of break the wheel of tradition, but I think that works in this style of game. There's online leaderboards, there is a lot of chatter that happens in the game. They try to have some big overarching story when you're just kind of like, I just want to blow crap up in this vertical shoot 'em up game. But I think Raiden 5 is definitely a very solid addition to the Raiden library of games. Of course, the original Raiden is a big classic game. I really like the Jaguar version of that game, but I think Raiden 5 is a very solid shoot 'em up game, and the fact that it's on sale for $8.99, which is the cheapest that it has ever been, definitely should have it on your radar because of that. One of my favorite Resident Evil games of all time is Resident Evil Revelations. I really enjoy the combination of the modern style of Resident Evil game with the still sort of classic survival horror style of the game. And Resident Evil Revelations is available on the Nintendo Switch on sale right now for just $7.99, which is once again the cheapest that I have ever seen this game. If you are a fan of Resident Evil games, you should have already played this game a million times. I actually ran through this game about 2 months ago to replay it, and I still enjoy it as much as I did then as I do now. I think it's a very good looking game. It runs great on the Switch, whether you're playing in docked or handheld mode, and if you can find some people to play with online, you can actually do a lot of fun raid missions as well. It's definitely a very good value at just $7.99, so if you've been sleeping on Resident Evil Revelations, now is the time to play it. If you're looking to crap your pants with a scary horror experience, Outlast 2 is available on the Nintendo Switch for just $7.49. This is a fantastic version of Outlast 2. It plays great and it runs great on the Switch, whether you're playing in docked or handheld mode. And really, Outlast 2 is a very, very messed up game. There's lots of cult stuff, religious stuff. There's a very disgusting story and some story elements that happen in the game. Like, it's very twisted, and I'm a person who enjoys sort of twisted stuff like that when it comes to the horror genre, but even I was kind of like, yo, this is a little bit messed up, but it's definitely a very fun and gory experience. If you're looking for something to scare the crap out of you, Outlast 2 will definitely fill that role. And like I said, it looks great and plays great on the Nintendo Switch, so at just $7.49, definitely a game worth checking out. While I might not be the biggest fan of the Bubsy franchise, I mean, really it just sort of sucks, Bubsy Paws on Fire is available for just $4.99, and you know what? At that price, it is not a bad pickup. Now, this game was actually developed by the people who did the Bit Trip Runner games, so it is an endless runner game, but they throw in a lot of different characters that have a lot of different play styles. So it's not necessarily a standard endless runner. They do throw in some variety in terms of that, and I think it's a pretty solid game. If you're not a fan of endless runner games, it's not going to make you a fan of that genre of games where you can't control, you know, speed and things like that. But I think Bubsy Paws on Fire isn't a bad game, and for just $5, I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm pretty sure I picked it up on sale for just $5 a few months ago, and you know what? For that price point, I definitely had some enjoyment out of it. I wouldn't probably pay any more than that, but I'm just not a fan of endless runners to begin with. And the final game we're going to talk about is the ultimate bargain on here at just 99 cents. If you look on the Nintendo Switch eShop, you can find lots of games for 99 cents or less, but I think this game is actually worth that 99 cents, and that is Coffee Crisis. Now, essentially what Coffee Crisis is, it is a two-player beat-em-up side-scrolling game that's very reminiscent of 16-bit beat-em-up games, but I think this is a pretty solid game. It doesn't really do anything super crazy to reinvent the wheel. You play the game as one or two coffee baristas who just kind of snap and decide to take things into their own hands and decide to beat people up in the streets. And you know what? It's a pretty solid game. Like I said, it doesn't do anything to sort of reinvent the wheel of the beat 'em up genre, but I think at 99 cents, you're going to have some fun with this game. It has a nice 16-bit aesthetic. The music in the game is really well done as well, and the gameplay is solid, if not a bit uninspired. But like I said, at the price of just $1, you really can't go wrong with this game. Alright, so those are the games on sale for the Nintendo Switch eShop right now that I think are worth checking out, whether it's because I'm familiar with the games and played them, or because of the price discount is a very good price discount. So let me know in the comments section down below if you plan on picking up any of these games, or if I missed any games that are currently on sale right now that I should have my eye out on, because, I mean, there's like 700 games that are on sale right now. I have not played all 700 of these Nintendo Switch games that are on sale, because there's not enough time in the day, man. There's not enough time in the day. So like I said, let me know in the comments section down below, and as always guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss uploads like these. Check out other videos on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.